Hey there, beautiful soul, and welcome to Healed and Overflowing, a podcast for women learning to heal deep, love wide, and live whole. Because healing isn't the end, it's the overflow. I'm your host, Queen Ashford, and before we get too far, I want to tell you something that might ruffle a few feathers, but it's the honest truth. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to tie up every loose end before you walk into the next thing He's calling you to. You just gotta be whole. And sugar, that's what today's episode is all about. The power of wholeness. All right, now, let's get something straight right out the gate. You ain't gotta have it all together to be used by God. He works with what's real, not what's polished. So let's talk about what it means to be whole, right in the middle of your mess, and how that's more than enough. Wholeness ain't the same as perfection. Perfection says, don't mess up, hide the cracks, wait till you've polished every piece. But wholeness, she says, bring it all, baby. Your mess, your middle, your miracle. Let God meet you in the real stuff. Luke 8:48 tells us about the woman who reached out and touched Jesus' robe. He looked her in the eye and said, daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace. He didn't say come back when you've earned it. He didn't say let me see your 5-year plan. He said your faith made you whole. That's what wholeness does. It unlocks peace right now. Now, sis, lean in close. You ain't gotta wait till trauma's all cleaned up. You don't have to hit your goal weight. You don't need a million flowers or a picture perfect marriage or a degree hanging on a wall. God don't need your picture perfect life. He just needs your yes, your honesty, your real self, the version that's been through some things but still shows up anyway. You can still be questioning and still be called. You can still carry some scars and still be sacred. So, what does it actually look like to walk this thing out? Here's what I've learned through tears, prayers, and plenty of late night talks with Jesus. Wholeness is choosing peace over performance. Wholeness is extending yourself grace when old wounds start whispering. Wholeness is saying, Lord, help. Here I am, all of me, not just the shiny bits. It's waking up and saying, I'm not perfect, but I'm present. I've got flaws, but I'm still faithful. I might not have arrived, but I'm walking anyway. You don't have to fake strong, baby. You just gotta show up true. Wholeness is what pours out. When you stop trying to impress folks, you start blessing them. When you quit hiding, you start healing. When you finally accept your journey, every twist, turn, and tumble, you give somebody else permission to stand tall in their own. And that's why this podcast exists, to remind you, you don't need to be at the finish line to share your story. You don't have to be flawless to lead somebody else. You don't have to have it all together to be used by God. You are already worthy, already walking in purpose, already whole enough for what's next. So, before you go, let me leave you with this. Your wholeness is powerful, not because you've done it all right, but because you let God show up in your right now. If this episode did something deep in your spirit, go ahead and share it with a sister who needs this kind of truth today. Make sure you subscribe to Healed and Overflowing. Leave a sweet review and come on back next week. We've got more goodness to walk through together. Until then, keep healing, keep rising, and keep learning how to pour from your overflow.